Welcome everybody. Today I would like to show you how to fight the new US Forces airborne spam meta. Is it even a meta already? I'm not quite sure, but I have to point out that recently I encountered this strat throughout all different ELU classes, and I found that to be pretty interesting because in my opinion it's not even that strong, but a lot of players are using this strat lately, so yeah, why not? I'd like to show you how I play against that using the DAK. And here we already see the first MG power drop. And even though I noticed that, I remember that quite well. For some reason I just instantly forgot about it. So first we go for the cut and cut, the mighty cut and cut. That depends on the map, but on this map I really like to go for it because it's very open and there are very many remote locations that need to be kept. Yeah, so over here we now see the mistake I was talking about earlier. There's the MG, and I obviously noticed that it would be dropped over here because we all hit the plane, right? And on the mini-map you can see the direction of the plane. Yeah, so it was pretty obvious that they were about to drop it over here. Anyway, so it repelled my first Panzer Pioneer over here, but it's not that a big deal because as soon as people start using an MG spam, no matter whether they are using British forces or the US forces, really like to go for the 250 next, even though I already went for like the Katschützen over here. Yeah, but the 250 obviously will help you quite a lot against these MGs. I think that is also something the US Forces players are well aware of, because usually when I face this strat, pretty soon they squeeze out a little, how's it called again? Zook squad, yes. They are not having the Zook squad so far, but as you can see that's the second MG, and the US Forces players always tend to open with another scout squad to gain a little bit more map control and of course vision, so that they can rally their MGs accordingly or appropriately. Alright, now okay, he's not doing this very thing, but at the same time, I mean he's not using the scouts to provide vision for the MGs, but at the same time he's covering the first MG with the second MG, so not quite a mistake, I would say. That also works perfectly fine. Alright, here I decided to just repair one of the scout squad because I was a little bit greedy for the wipe. The flamethrower, by the way, I think should already be about to be deployed, but maybe that was a misclick. I don't know, I have no ammunition for that, so okay, that was not an option for me, okay. Never mind. So these units are repelled. There are 3 model drops, so it's nice. And now I have quite a good map control, even though there were 2 MGs on the field, but as you can see the MGs are not quite used effectively because, yeah, I always would recommend, if you use this strat, to use the scout squads to provide the vision. I mean, this player was not bad at all, but I think even better players, and I again need to point out that I see that in even higher ELU classes, most likely will use their scout squad to provide the vision, not a second MG. Anyway, that's the third pirate drop. It's coming down over here, and I think that is most likely a yeah, indeed, here, pirate trooper squad now, no MG anymore. And unfortunately, at this very moment, I waste my Katschützen. Maybe I could have waited if I instantly would have tried to do so, but didn't do that. No, that's fine. Here we learn the most important lesson of Company Furious 3, I guess. Never give up too early. Some people instantly leave if they lose something, no matter which faction they're playing. Or faction, oh god, I'm doing it again. Faction, of course. But usually you should try to stay inside of things, because also your opponents are just human and they will most likely do some mistakes as well, at a certain point. Yeah, well, at this point now, he is having a little bit of mainline infantry, which are these paratroopers, and he's equipping them with the bazookas. Okay. Usually, when the US forces player are going for this strat, they are going for the tier 1 and build the Zook squads and equip these guys with the LMGs. I think that's a little bit more valuable because they are a little bit... yeah. They make the US forces player have a little bit of a manpower bleed. I mean, at the same time, I get the intention of the US forces player at this point because he obviously is counting with or counting on the medium vehicle spam from the DAK. Yeah, most people that know me know, or most likely know, that I am not quite a fan of this strat because I won't say that the Achtrats are overpowered, but the Achtrats are spammable, and usually, in my opinion, spammable units are not quite balanced units, even though, in my opinion, the Achtrat is not too strong. Anyway, Mardas and Stus, that are more the objects of my concern, so I usually try to prevent these guys. Anyway, let's come back to the stuff that's happening here on the battlefield. We already analyzed what the US forces player is doing. At the same time now, let's find out what I am doing. So, as you can see, I am indeed not going for more light or medium vehicles, but just for the 250. And that is my usual build against the US forces airborne spam, because even if you are facing an even better player, and he's maybe even using this strat better than he is doing at the moment, even then, it is, in my opinion, always a good idea to go for a lot of Panzer Grenadiers and Assault Grenadiers, because these guys upgrade with the 6-man upgrade, and the LMGs will surpass the paratroopers and the MGs manpower-wise. Especially when you use the combined arms buff with the 250. Yeah, and I would like to say that I already had great successes with this strat against even better players. Like, I think there was even one time a, like, was it rank 10 or so player? Something like that. Here I wanted to go for the white because I wanted to take away the vet over here, which worked. And now, obviously, make use of the 250 to hunt down these MGs. And at the same time, unfortunately I didn't show you that at the moment, but at the same time try to provide the healing ability of the 250. You can see over here the cooldown of the ability is at 80 seconds at the moment. So I already used it, I think, at least once. Maybe twice? I think twice. Ooh, but that's a sticky situation. The not even dodging the nade. But the Zooks, yeah, and he's already deploying them, are about to pop out any second. Fortunately, I was capping this MG and was not quite possible. In this situation over here, now you saw that I picked a battle group because I, in the heat of the moment, initially I forgot that there was a wreck, but now I noticed the wreck again and wanted to salvage it for the 5 additional fuel, and I think that is not even a bad idea against the US forces airborne spam, because usually you will have a bad time with keeping up with map control, and with that you usually lack the fuel, so try to watch out for the wrecks, and then you'll be fine. Well, as you can see, 3 Panzer Grenadiers, 1 Assault Grenadier and MG, which I just kept, and 2 Panzer Pioneers. Now, since the match was not quite for his favor, I decided to go for the 2.5 ton medical truck. Usually I try to avoid going for this unit because it is just too expensive for the DAK to deploy. Because usually you will face a tremendous manpower bleed, and because the Panzer Grenadiers are so expensive. Yeah, and also the Panzer Pioneers. I mean, the Panzer Pioneer spam still, in my opinion, is stronger than the Panzer Grenadier spam. I consider it to be very cheesy, because in my opinion, Panzer Pioneers should not be a mainline infantry, but still, that's a viable strat to use for the DAK. But still, if you go for these guys, most of the time you will bleed a lot of manpower against the US forces, because they are just way more manpower efficient. By the way, what... the mechanized support squad. Okay, I see. Maybe that was the reason why this match was at this point, minute 10 or so, going for my favorite, because usually the US forces are going for the, how's it called? Ooh, 2 wipes incoming maybe? Don't know. For the infantry support center, then all of these units are way cheaper to reinforce, and they are stronger at the same time, and 1 wipe, very nice. Yeah, and when that's the case, then it will be way harder for you to keep up. Since he went for the mechanized support, I have no idea why he did so. Maybe because of luck half track? I think that could have been... No! 250 is gone. It could have been an experiment of his. Of him. Maybe, don't know. Second MG is now in my possession, very nice. Though the 250 died, it's not too bad. By the way, he was not lazy planting some mines. I like that. Yeah, but now I have a flamethrower on my Panzer Grenadier squad. That is very mighty. Look at that. How incredibly weak the paratroopers are when you give them the Zooks. I mean, this squad... it dropped 1 model, but... I mean, 3 squads were firing at him. You know, if I remember that correctly, threw a nade, which I am not about to dodge. Ooh. But all 6 models are on the rooftop over here. That is very strong. But that won't be a wipe, because these guys suck ass against infantry. Always try to presume that when you play against the US forces spam strat, then... try to presume these guys are very bad against infantry, and that's also the reason why I really like to counter-spam infantry as the DAK when I face this threat. Because usually I will have a good time, because the US forces will not be able to keep, even though if they are going for the infantry support center, that is usually not enough to save their ass. Well, I mean, that's a flak half-track on this. It a little bit concerning, but fortunately I just kept a Zook. So now I'm a little bit prepared for the flak feeling, but if I wouldn't have been capping this Zook, I think, since my call-in is ready, I think I would have been going for the anti-tank gun, not for the Panzerjäger squad, even though the Panzerjäger squad can be quite handy to jag them, to Jäger them. But I think I'm more a fan of the anti-tank guns, because, I mean, they're also very useful in late game. That can be very handy. Now we went for the anti-tank gun because you maybe is still expecting me to go for some vehicles, but I really don't want to do that. Yeah, you just see the anti-tank gun over here. I went for it anyway, even though I captured the Zook, but I think that's never a bad idea to go for an anti-tank gun. Sooner or later we will need it. Maybe any second? Yeah, okay. Detached the anti-tank gun, and 250 is trying to bait a little bit more, but no, he's not chasing him further. Very smart. Alright, that could be a wipe. No? Okay. Yeah, but now his own MGs are denying the map control for him. Very nice. Yeah, and the 2.5 ton medical truck is certainly, yeah, making me use my APM a little bit more efficiently, because I just don't need to care for the heal ability of the 250 anymore. Oh, I remember this incident. I tried to throw out some grenades, but for some reason that was not working. Could it be? I don't know, but could it be when you are inside of a fog cloud that you can't throw grenades? Not possible? I don't know. How it worked, but he obviously was able to dodge it now. This is spotlight this time. Yeah. Okay, but here the Zook squad is coming in. I think they will finish the flak half track. Yeah. Oh, by the way, what I forgot to mention. Usually when I go for the infantry spam, you still need the 250s to provide a little bit of the combined arms buff, right? And I think when you go for the infantry spam yourself, with the DAK, it can be quite handy to go for the combat half Shrek upgrade. Sometimes I go for that because then your 250s are getting like, what is it, 30% of health or armor boost at the front. Oh, I'm cheating. Okay, no, I am not. But, well, all his units died now and I think it's GG. Yeah, well, anyway. Oh no! Screen turned black. But it doesn't matter. I think I got the message across right. So if you see this threat, or if you're faced with this threat, and I could imagine that in a little bit of more lower elo classes, this threat is most likely used even more. Yeah, just go for the counter infantry spam. That is something the US forces can't deal with in this situation, because the paratroopers, they are just not cost efficient enough. Riflemen are way more efficient. Yeah, but going for the tier 2 and the rifleman build in addition to the paratrooper spam, yeah, is a little bit inefficient again, because when you don't then go for the bars upgrade and stuff like that, at the same time these upgrades and the resource investment is not buffing your paratroopers and the paratrooper MGs and stuff like that. So yeah, it bites itself a little bit. So most of the time the people are going for the tier 1 and go for the Zook squad, the paratroopers with LMGs, some MGs, heavy MGs of course, the flak feeling, and all of this stuff, and then try to rush for the Sherman spam. Yeah, but I think you will be able to counter this threat pretty effectively with just counter spamming Panzer Grenadiers, upgrade them with the 6-man upgrade, go for some anti-tank guns, and don't forget to check the nades, because the anti-tank guns and the Panzer Grenadiers with nades should be enough to deal with the first few Shermans, and then I think your Panzer IIIs also will just be about to hit the field. Yay! So, this is how I usually try to counter the US forces paratrooper spam. Yeah, and with that, let's say GG, well played. Let's not cheat. And with that, let's have a good time. See you guys.